He says that she went on what he called a well-deserved vacation.
She's done this before where she hasn't talked to us. She'll just disappear.
Why was Cassandra's family so worried?
They hadn't heard from her in approximately 4 months.
What was your fear?
It's probably not going to be the outcome that we were all hoping for, obviously.
All of a sudden, she's gone. Like, it's not normal.
He had some criminal charges in federal court involving a wire fraud.
He was currently on probation.
We needed to find justice for Cassandra and her child.
Hi, I'm Nancy O'Dell. Today's Crime Expose takes us to Pensacola, Florida, where police were called to investigate the disappearance of a young mother. The circumstances had everyone questioning if she had simply left on her own. And just as investigators started to get close to that answer, the case took a shocking turn.
It was June 8th when Pensacola police got a phone call from the family of 25-year-old Cassandra Robinson.
They've been trying to get a hold of her, and they've had no luck getting a hold of her. They've seen no movement on social media. They're concerned. They hadn't heard from her in approximately 4 months.
She's done this before where she hasn't talked to us. She'll just disappear, but at the same time, she would actually be posting on social media. I can go on there and check to see if she's okay. I'm like, okay, she's still posting, so she's good or whatever. But the last time she made any post anywhere, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, February 1st. So that's why I began to worry.
The last time Cassandra Robinson was seen was at her daughter's first birthday in February.
Investigators began to learn more about the missing woman.
Cassandra was a pretty young female, a mom of a 1-year-old. She seemed to live a pretty normal life for someone her age. She went to school to be a nurse, but she wasn't working. She was a stay-at-home mom.
With no current address on file, an officer went to her sister's home, hoping to get more information. She told him that Cassandra had struggled with drugs and mental health issues in the past, but she had been in a good place since having her child.
If she was like having, I guess before last time we talked to her, if she was like going through something or bad or something, then we probably be like, okay, well maybe she just disappeared, needs some time. But she was good, like happy, everything was good. You know what I mean? So it's just all of a sudden she's gone. Like, it's not normal. Like I said, that's not normal at all.
The last she knew, Cassandra was living with the baby's father, a 53-year-old local businessman named Henry Steiger.
Henry was many years her senior. Henry was currently running a business of roasting coffee beans.
A detective called him. Henry said he also had not seen or spoken with Cassandra since she packed her bags and drove off in their black SUV on February the 1st.
Did he know where she went?
He says that she went on what he called a well-deserved vacation.
Henry said they celebrated their daughter Evelyn's birthday and then she left. He said it was something she had been planning for a long time.
She says, I'm breastfeeding this child till she's 1 year old, and on her first birthday, I'm leaving.
Mr. Steiger was not concerned about Miss Robinson being missing. He thought that this vacation that she was on was something that she wanted.
He had said she may have went to Bermuda.
When she left, it was either she's going to get her head clear, come back, or she's never going to come back. Like, one of those two things is what I was, prepared for, what she prepared me for.
Police tried to track Cassandra's movements, but just like her social media accounts, everything else in her life had completely stopped after February the 1st.
There was no action on any of her cell phone, her bank accounts, credit cards, no action.
The whole situation felt odd, so investigators decided to pay a visit to Henry Steiger at his home.
When we first got out to his residence, he answered the door, and he actually had Evelyn, who's the 1-year-old child, he was holding her in his arms.
Henry was cooperative and explained that he and Cassandra were no longer in a romantic relationship, but that she had continued to live in his house so they could co-parent.
He said that at that point in time that he looked at her as like a sister.
Henry said he cared about Cassandra and wanted to make sure she was mentally okay. He says that's why he supported her desire to take a break. He then walked detectives around the home.
He showed us some suitcases that he says Cassandra took with her, specifically a silver one and a purple one. He says she took the matching suitcases with her. He showed us all the breast milk that he had stockpiled in the freezer that Cassandra had been pumping because she wanted to make sure that Evelyn had enough milk while she was on her well-deserved vacation. There was no signs of any kind of struggle. Actually, the house was pretty clean.
On the surface, it appeared as if Cassandra had simply run away. But as Henry continued the tour of the home, investigators noticed something.
The vehicle she would have left in and the keys to that vehicle were back inside the residence.
Henry had told police that Cassandra left in that SUV, but had no real explanation for why it was back at his home. He said it was just there when he woke up the next day.
These were all red flags for the detectives.
Investigators were suspicious, and they knew they were going to need to dig deeper if they were ever going to find the truth. Detectives were concerned about some of the inconsistencies in Henry Steiger's story and decided to take a closer look at him.
After meeting with Mr. Steiger, the police began to look into his past, and they saw that he had had some criminal charges in federal court involving a wire fraud.
He was currently on probation for those charges.
Our office began speaking with people who may have known Mr. Steiger, his friends, his acquaintances, his co-workers, and one of them was Julian Major.
Major was a young guy who Steiger had hired as his right-hand man.
Julian thought that he was learning how to run a business through Henry, and I believe that's what his ultimate goal was to run a business.
Major denied knowing anything about Cassandra's disappearance, but did say how loyal he was to Steiger, even opening a bank account in his name for Steiger's coffee business.
When I dug a little deeper into the bank account information and why he did that, Julian's response was that Henry told him that he's on federal probation and he can't have bank accounts, or didn't want the feds knowing about his banking situation.
And there was much more to it.
He was instructed by Henry to go make various small deposits that did not exceed the $9,999. Henry told him if it goes over that money, the bank has to report that to the feds. And he didn't want any of the deposits being reported to the feds.
Major had unknowingly admitted that he and Henry Steiger were involved in a money laundering scheme. Based on his statements, investigators were able to get a search warrant for Steiger's home to look for evidence of a financial crime.
We find over $100,000 in cash. We find 2 Apple cell phones, 2 Apple laptops.
Henry Steiger was arrested and taken to jail for violating his federal probation. With Steiger behind bars, the investigation into Cassandra's disappearance heated up.
The police continue to look into Henry Steiger, and they look in his phone records and see he contacted people shortly after Cassandra went missing.
One was a man named Shelby Johnson. Investigators brought him in for questioning. He also denied knowing anything about Cassandra, but after his interview was over, he called police.
At that time, Shelby tells us that, hey, I forgot to tell you, Henry parked a trailer out on my property, and you're more than welcome to go look at it if you need to or whatever.
Detectives went to Shelby's property to take a look at the trailer. As they approached, they could smell the undeniable smell of human decomposition.
Once I smelled the smell coming from the trailer, my immediate thought was, okay, she's going to be in this trailer. We've potentially located Cassandra, and it's probably not going to be the outcome that we were all hoping for, obviously.
Investigators were able to open the trailer with keys they had found at Steiger's home. Once inside, they saw 2 green 55-gallon sealed drums in the back.
We open one barrel and it's empty. When we open the second barrel, you see the remains of Cassandra in the bottom of the barrel.
Upon entering the trailer at Mr. Johnson's property, when we discovered Cassandra Robinson, I was there, and we knew right away that we had found her.
Cassandra was identified quickly by her distinctive tattoos. The missing persons case was now a homicide investigation.
The medical examiner in this case was unable to determine a cause of death based on the condition of her body. The medical examiner ruled this case a homicide. We knew at this point our job has begun. We needed to find justice for Cassandra and her child.
Investigators went to confront Henry Steiger with what they found, hoping for a confession.
I don't think it was a planned and on purpose thing, because you love little Evelyn, and I don't think you would do anything to harm Evelyn or harm Evelyn's mother.
Of course not.
Something happened. And I need to know from you what happened. I don't want my mind to be spinning and everybody else's mind to be spinning. I just need to know what happened. And I need to know it from you.
Well, it is a story that I don't think anyone would believe. And that's my problem.
Detectives then showed him pictures of Cassandra's body, but that didn't seem to elicit any reaction.
What is it that you are asking me to explain?
How Cassandra wound up in this barrel, sealed in your balloon trailer, parked in Shelby's property.
Well, I think I need the opportunity to explain to you with professional assistance.
Detectives took that statement as Steiger asking for an attorney and quickly ended the interview. But they still pressed forward, determined to build a case against him.
So our next step was, well, let's turn the heat on Julian and see what Julian tells us.
Phone records showed that Steiger had called Julian Major the night of February the 1st when police believed the murder had occurred. Investigators brought him in for another interview, this time convinced he was involved. Major once again denied knowing anything, but detectives say they knew he was lying and kept the pressure on.
I care about that I found her dead body in a barrel, rotting in a trailer. That's what I care about. It's very horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible, Julian. And you were a part of it. There's your dead body in the trailer. Why don't you want to see it? Why don't you want to see it?
You're seeing a dead body, but I don't want to.
Well,
Julian, tell us what happened.
tell us what happened that night.
Can you move the picture of the dead body away? I don't want to see it.
All right. It's gone. Tell us what happened.
Major finally cracked. He said that when he got to Steiger's home that night, Cassandra was already dead. Steiger told him they had gotten into a fight.
He said that she was frantically packing, and she was grabbing all of her stuff, and she was telling him she's gonna leave, grabbing the baby. And he said he didn't really say that, though. He implied.
Okay. What did he imply?
That he strangled her.
Julian Major indicated that he was called by Mr. Steiger to help move Cassandra Robinson's body.
Major admitted that he helped Steiger get rid of Cassandra's iPhone and iPad.
When we asked him if he remembers where it was at, he said yes. And Julian took one of our other detectives out to where they discarded the items, and what we believe is Cassandra's phone was still laying in the drainage ditch. It never got down into the water to where it could be washed away.
Major said he never saw or touched Cassandra's body, but prosecutors weren't convinced.
Julian Major was charged by the state for accessory after the fact to second-degree murder. This is for his help in moving Cassandra Robinson after the crime. Julian Major was sentenced by the court to 15 years of probation with 2 years to be served in the county jail.
As part of his sentence, Major was ordered to testify against Henry Steiger during Steiger's murder trial the following year. But it wasn't Major's story everyone was waiting to hear.
Henry Steiger, after the state put on their evidence, decided he would take the stand in his own defense. Henry Steiger was responsible for her death.
Henry Steiger got on the witness stand and told the courtroom he was ready to explain the truth about what happened that night.
Henry Steiger indicated that Cassandra Robinson killed herself. He said that it was suicide and that she had a Publix bag inside of her mouth and that she had choked and died from that.
Steiger said he panicked that everyone would blame him for Cassandra's death. So instead of calling police, he placed her inside the barrel to cover up what had happened. Prosecutors weren't buying his new version of events.
Cassandra did not kill herself. She did not place herself in that barrel. Henry Steiger was responsible for her death.
The jury agreed and found him guilty of second-degree murder.
Second-degree murder in the state of Florida requires the killing with a depraved mind.
So what was his motive? I mean, why did Steiger kill Cassandra?
For Henry Steiger, their baby, his baby, was everything to him. That's why he acted the way he did when Cassandra said that she was going to leave him. And I think that's also why he had hid the body, so that he didn't lose custody of her after he killed her.
In the end, Steiger's actions ended up costing him everything. He was sentenced to life in a Florida state prison without the possibility of parole. Baby Evelyn is now being raised by Cassandra's family. And now, it's time for today's Safety Spotlight. If you are ending a relationship and children are involved, take precautions to help maximize your safety and theirs. Establish custody through the courts so the parameters are clearly documented. If conflicts arise, meet at a police station for the exchange or at the child's school to ensure the safe transfer of custody. Avoid making threats to take a child away from the other parent, as this may motivate the other parent to retaliate in some manner. And if threats are made against you, take them seriously and contact law enforcement and your attorney. The well-being of your children is paramount, but so too is your safety. I'm Nancy O'Dell. For all of us here at Crime Exposé, please join us next time and stay safe.